Hello student, in my first video already I have explained first stanza along with the introduction of the poem and poet of the poem If, and today in this video I am going to explain second and third stanza. So let's start with the second stanza explanation. If you can dream and not make dream your master. It is the first line of the second stanza. If you can dream and not make dream your master. We should dream first to do something bigger. But the poet also reminds us not to be guided by unrealistic dream. If dreams take the driver's seat, we should get detached from reality and eventually fail. There goes a saying, you have to dream first before your dream can come true. So, we should dream to reach great heights in life, but keeping the reality in mind. Now the second line of the stanza. If you can think and not make thought your aim. It means we should be able to think over a matter, but should not make the thought our aim. That is to say that we often lose our radar and get detached from the main point. So, our thinking should not be scattered, misleading us and from the target. Now, the third line of the stanza. If you can meet with the triumph and disaster and treat those two imposter just the same, it means life is a combination of success and failure, joy and sorrow, good time and bad time. We should accept both and face both situations with similar treatment. Here, the poet personifies triumph and disaster, capitalizing and calling them to impostor. Impostors means pretender or the cheaters. People becomes too happy in success and forgets their duty at hand. We may also get too complacent or proud at a small success, reducing our chances to reach higher goals. Again, at bad time, if we are too grieved, we may lose our faith and confidence. In both cases, our regular course of work is hampered. That is why the poet calls triumph and disaster two impostors. He asks us to treat those deceivers similarly with a smiling face. In short, don't be too happy or too sad under any circumstances. Now next line of the stanza. If you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, to state by names to make a trap for fools. It means we have to bear the tough situation where we see that our speech or statement is distorted by someone to befool other. Very often we see that people misinterpret or even deliberately distort our word to use it in their favor. We should not lose our temper hearing that. Rather, we should tolerate that, ensuring we have spoken the truth. Now, next line of the stanza: or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoops and build him up with worn out tools. It means the last two lines means we have to hold our nerves even after seeing that of our favorite things that we will with all our efforts and time is broken. Then we have to pick up the scattered part and build it all over again. This is the another key to getting to the tap of the word. According to the poet, to keep our cool is not easy in such a situation, but patience and the mental toughness would help us build them again. Our effort and time is broken. Then we have to pick up the scattered part and build it all over again. This is another key to getting to the top of the word, according to the poet. To keep a cool is too easy in such a situation, but patience and the mental toughness would help us build them again. Indeed, there is a story about Newton that the paper containing these theories were destroyed in fire, and he wrote them again from the beginning. It was the explanation of the second stanza. Now I am going to explain third stanza. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. What a line. Now, the explanation of these four lines. We should be able to accumulate all we have and take a risk in one turn of the game of pitch and toss. We may lose the game and all our possession, but we have to stay calm without uttering a word about that loss and rebuild it from the beginning. Here, the poet talks about the ability of taking big risks to achieve much greater success and keeping quiet even if we lose the bet. This is yet another aspect of our mental toughness that we need to possess. Now, next line of the third stanza. If you can force your heart and nerves and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. What a great line. In the fourth lines above, the poet continues the same theme of mental strength and the power of will. We have to force our body to serve us even after it has lost the strength due to old age or illness. Thus, we should keep on working, driven by the power of will, which would ask them to hold on, complaining them to do their job. If we want to do something great from our heart, and will inside us would prevent the body from getting tired. Indeed, there goes a proverb, when going gets tough, the tough gets going. So, it was the explanation of the third stanza. If you like my video, hit the like button. For more videos like this, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.